So, how's Zack Snyder's Justice League doing for HBO Max? Well, Bloomberg says it's got some numbers. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. So Bloomberg posted this brief little article by John J. Edwards III, no relation to my governor, I'm sure. Anyway, the article was titled, Justice League leads HBO Max to top gain in streaming sessions. So the article reads, AT&T's HBO Max had the biggest increase in video streaming last week as viewers flocked to its recut version of the superhero epic Justice League. The Warner Media streaming platform recorded an 8.9% jump in users launching its mobile app, according to Bloomberg's analysis of Apptopia data. Sports streaming service DAZN, gotta admit, I've never heard of it, had the biggest decline in streaming among top U.S. providers. Oh boy. So, but it is kind of interesting because I would have always thought sports tended to do a lot better than all the others, and it was always a good thing to fall back on. That seems to be somewhat of a decline overall lately. Gee, I can't imagine why. But anyway, it's interesting. Though, again, I'm not familiar with DAZ, and all I knew was ESPN, so... yeah. Anyway, director Zack Snyder crafted a reimagined 4-hour version of Justice League, whose original 2017 cut, it wasn't the original cut. The 4-hour one was the original one. He had another cut of it that was a little over 2 hours, but I guess we're never going to see that one. Yeah, little mistake there, Bloomberg. But anyway, it was completed by a different director. Yes, for some reason they don't want to mention his name, because boy is he canceled. But it disappointed some fans. Oh boy, not just some. It disappointed just about everybody, even people who weren't all that interested in the stuff. And they said, "Poof, that was a stinker." So anyway, thus the demand for the original cut, Zack Snyder's cut. So the Snyder Cut premiered March 18th on HBO Max. Well, anyway, the week ended March 28th. Downloads of the HBO Max app rose 64% for the top increase. And then they show that DAZN, which its only relevant is that they were the big loser for the week. So, okay. So anyway, here's their list. And you see HBO Max is at the top with 119.1 million sessions. And they say that Apptopia defines a session as a launch of HBO, or the mobile app. So anyway, that's what that means. And it records the downloads, 1.48 million. But this gives them an increase of 64%. So for their, as they were, it's all pretty good. Is it, as I said before, the leaping Mount Everest in a single bound? No. And it's an unfair burden upon it because there are so many forces at Warner Brothers allied against it, most notably Bad Robot, I would suspect, but plenty of other people too, just irritated that a fan movement forced them to do this, and that their new owners, their new boss, said, hey, we need to make some money on this thing, and made them do it. They don't like to be told what to do. They sure do enjoy telling people what to do, though. Yeah. So anyway, it gives you the list of the others here and how they performed. Disney Plus, their change was only 4%. Yeah. Even though they claim Falcon and Winter Soldier was their bestest ever, which would mean it beat out Mandalorian, which I just don't believe. But it's a rather odd situation here because the last time I reported on its supposed performance was through Cosmic Book News, referring to Zamba TV, and Deadline ran with this as well, saying that it didn't do as well as Wonder Woman 84. And I was like, God, really? And I'm assuming they're going by strictly HBO Max numbers, because remember, Wonder Woman 84 was in theaters as well. That it performed lower than Wonder Woman 84, yet beat Falcon and Winter Soldier, which Disney Plus says is their best. So you have to go with Disney's lying. Okay. And that it, well, I guess Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't beat Wonder Woman 84 either. Huh? I mean, I don't know. So that's, the narrative for its performance from that source, I guess. So it depends on what the exact metrics are, as what Bloomberg is using here, which is recording for the week performance, and it doesn't provide any comparisons to previous shows and movies and what have you. So I don't know, but it's very bizarre where the narrative is, Falcon and Winter Soldier were such a big hit, yet it loses to Zack Snyder's Justice League, but apparently Zack Snyder's Justice League lost to Wonder Woman 84, which by every account possible was a huge failure. So that's really strange, isn't it? But as far as, again, with comic book news, I understand he's very upset with what Zack Snyder did to get Geeks and Gamers. That was a very rotten thing to do, even if, of course, and I'm sure it's true that he was under pressure from Warner Brothers and all this sort of thing, and he might have fallen for a trap there, that it is an attempt to scuttle his chances. But earlier on, he said, I think this is it. They're not going to give me another chance. And I'm sure they told that to him to his face, and there was all kinds of problems. Why wasn't it a miniseries when it was announced to be a miniseries, which probably would have worked a lot better? I think that's more of Warner Brothers pitching a fit. And also, he wanted a Green Lantern scene in it, and they said, no, you take that out or we're canceling the whole thing. So he did, and it's Martian Manhunter instead. So it was not a happy relationship by any means, even though they screwed him over first. And of course, immediately the narrative's all about how toxic and nasty the Snyder Cut fans are, with very, very little reference at all. One or two memes here that were pretty snotty, but beyond that, as if that's on the level of being terrorists, and that sort of thing. It was all really nasty, and it's all that mess that's thrown about to sabotage the whole damn thing. But in the end, if these numbers are to the liking of AT&T, well, that changes everything. So I understand people who are still hoping for Snyderverse to be restored. There is a pathway, but it's, boy, I tell you, there's a lot of obstacles in the way that, granted, don't make sense, but doesn't matter. So we'll see how this plays out, of course, but right now this is a very positive take on the performance of Justice League. So it's good news for Justice League, and of course HBOmax knows the actual numbers, and if they're really good for them, then well, in the end, money talks, doesn't it? Yes, it will. Because you got to pay your bills, and there's some hard times and a lot of debt when it concerns AT&T and HBO Max and stuff like that. You don't want to end up where Paramount Plus is. Well, they're not even on the list here. So it's terrible. But meanwhile, Netflix, of course, is still king, as you can see in these numbers. So, but nevertheless, you need some hits, and it looks like you have one. So there's lessons there. Will they learn them? Again, time and money will tell. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.